And as we get on into the first race, we'll start to get a little bit of an inkling as to just where each of these players ranks compared to the rest of the finalists. And of course, the expectation is that they are all very good, that they are all very fast. There's a reason that they got into this round of 16 in the qualifiers, the reason they are one of the best 24 players in the world. As we see Haedra get off to an early lead here. Kappa actually in last place, only 2/10 down though, and because of how many technical aspects there are to this map, Kappa will be in his element. Coming up towards this really difficult drift. Get over this jump. We already see one drop out. Haedra looking to get the angle here and then full speed it through. Evon, Haedra, and Kappa all have worked their way through. Kappa, of course, dropped out earlier as he smashed his face into a wall, and now we'll get on towards the identities. Kappa taking a slightly closer line here on the jump as well. He takes the inside line and will drift it out wide to try and get towards Semiramis with just that little bit more speed. You can see Evon now taking the lead. Kappa going for the lower jump, trying to get on towards the track as quickly as possible, and Kappa will move up to first place. Evon with a bad start. Hayward the same. It actually looks like Kappa, the only player to make it through the identity and in one go without having to reset to a checkpoint. Kappa takes first. Evon overtaken by Hay at the final hurdle. Haedra will take second. Evon gets third, and Cap will round it out in fourth.
Yeah, pretty chaotic first round here. Only Kappa getting through unscathed there. A 111.5 I don't think is the true potential of Kappa on this map. We are about 1 second off the world record pace, but I think he also realized he got the job done. He did exactly what was needed. But now in the second round with less mistakes, perhaps he's going to have to work harder for it though. Starting here with 10 points is looking good for him, but also we saw Haedra here, who we weren't quite sure what his pace was like. He was leading that first round by 0.2 of a second, getting a very, very good start into the race, so that's some positive signs from him. Curious to see now if he can keep it up in the second round, as Kappa has lost 0.3 here in the start of the second round. In a technical section, it should be noted that Kappa is one of the world's best tech players. He's showing it in that drift there, but bit uncanny to see him lose so much in the beginning. Now he's climbing his way back up though. These corners are the ones that favor him. This is where he can do these corners better than anyone else in this field and get a little bit closer to the first place currently held by Cap. But Evon and Haedra are so close here as they jump onto the identity now. First one going here where Haedra bounces and clips into the booster. He will not be winning this round. Cap and Evon are fighting close, but there comes Kappa just on Cap's tail now. Who's going to get the most speed onto the grass turn here? It looks like Kappa will have it by just 100th on the finish line. And this is what we were hoping to see, Medic. Super close races and great times on the board.
Yeah, 1:11.15, very quick there from Kappa. And the expectation is that he'll continue to improve that across the course of the next couple of races. You can see Haedra really struggling with the identity, with those jumps at the end. It's the second time he's failed on them. And it's really cost him quite a lot. Kappa very consistent when it gets towards those final few jumps. Currently at 100% first place record across this finals. Of course, we're only 2 rounds in, so I'm being a little bit preemptive with what I'm saying there. But Kappa off to a good start in this third round. He's been struggling early on. Most of the race, Kappa's dropped out as he hit himself into a wall, and Kappa is leading. But he is right. He's being chased right on their tail here by Haedra and Evon. Kappa into that long drift towards the left side, getting as much speed as you can as you push up towards these next couple of turns before the identities. Kappa still with a 10th lead or so. Evon chasing down Haedra as quickly as he can, but it's basically a battle for second right now, assuming that Kappa can hold on to this. Evon with a much wider line here, trying to get towards that apex, just a little bit narrower, trying to catch on Haedra. So we get towards the jumps. Evon with the higher jump onto the boosters. Kappa going for the lower one. Will get him more speed and more time gripping the surface there. Evon does overtake Haedra, and he's looking to try and get down towards this final straight. Haedra on the chase, but won't be able to catch him. Kappa will take first, Evon second, Haedra third, and Cap working his way towards the final jump. Should be able to get through here in time. Just needs to hit this last jump with the air brake, and will get himself a 4th spot.
But what a time there from Kappa. One of the fastest match times that we've seen on this map here, all tournament long. A 1:10.87 in a live round. This just shows what Kappa can do when he doesn't blunder in the start, costing him 0.3 of a second. This time he had a great start and also a great ending, so if this is what's been happening all tournament long, then there's no wonder how he's clean swept these previous rounds. So far, also on a clean sweep, but that might falter here as well, it looks like we as the casters do have a bit of power here, Medic, to curse certain players at certain times. Unfortunate. The race continues. Evon in the lead now, Cap in second, and Haedra in third. Definitely some good opportunities to get a tenner now, with Kappa a little bit out of the picture. Evon looking poised to do that. First place, jumping wide though, might have the speed. As a consequence, looks like he will get a little bit closer, but Cap holding on to that first place for now. Low jump there to keep the grip. Good stuff. He will extend that lead, but Evon pushing close with a beautiful drift, using all the space, and he wants this 10-pointer. He's going to try for it. Jumping tight. Cap jumping wide to try to land earlier. Who is going to win out in the end? Cap maybe with more speed on the final straight, but Evon looks like he will have this unless that is a bouncy end. That could happen. Looks good for him, though. Losing a bit of time, but still holding on. A 1:11.09 in the final round of Semiramis, and 10 points going to Evon.
A really big gain there for everyone. Getting himself up to 24 coming out of Semiramis is a huge win when you think about the fact he's likely chasing for second spot. He's likely chasing for that second World Cup qualification spot. We are going to move on to Bicycle next in the start of some of our icy escapades here in the final of the day. It's a little bit of a tricky track. Boosters at the end can be a bit difficult to navigate properly, Virtual.
Yeah, it's mostly about the middle part because the boosters in the end sort of feel like they're automatic. It could decide the round, but you really want to accrue a big lead already when you're going to the booster, so you can then adapt your line and sort of drive these a little bit safer. Sometimes you don't get that luxury and you're going to have to push all the way out to the edge of the booster to get the most amount of speed to win the rounds. We'll see what happens. It is a raw pace map. It's mostly decided by who drives fastest and not who crashes, like we've seen on maps like Arctic Split. But let's see here. I don't really know who to expect to win this one, but we'll see what we get here on the first round. They're going to start out by going all the way to the left here and try to jump low to reduce airtime, land early and build up speed through this part here on the grass. Looks like Haedra with the first mistake in the round, losing about half a second, and with that maybe even losing the chance to win this one, as half a second on Bicycle is a big gap to try to close. Evon with a great turn there puts him into first place. Now pay attention to this corner, the left-hander onto the dirt, one of the more important corners, as you can then build speed here, set yourself up for the ice, try to go close around this corner, and then build speed up towards the jump. It is Kappa and Evon, the two TMGL players, side by side as they jump through the checkpoint. Looks like they are the ones who've gotten out of this the best, while the Open League players are struggling a little bit. Kappa going low there to reduce airtime to keep the speed, and you can just see how much that pays off in the exit. Kappa gaining 0.2 before the identity, and this is the lead that we talked about. 0.2 of a second here is enough to play it safe. You don't have to go all the way to the end of the booster. You can afford to save it, and Kappa will take these first 10 points. Evon getting 6, and let's see if the two others are actually able to finish here, as they are right on that 15-second timeout cutoff. Cap should be fine, but Haedra is right on the limit. 2, 1, and just about off. 0 points for him this round.
Yeah, it's really difficult for Haedra there. You can see Kappa picking up his 4th win out of 5 races. Just so good at these tight corners, at these technical parts of the map. And we'll see if Haedra and Cap can hold on to the early racing here, because last time both of them making just those small mistakes really cost them. Early on, I say that Haedra bumps into a wall as we jump forward to see Evon's point of view. This left-sided drift as we push down towards the first really difficult portion of the map. You want to maintain as much speed through this dirt as possible. Go high up to the left, down, across towards the right, and keep that gear up as high as you can. Onto the ice slide. Kappa once again leading into this jump. Avoid the tree, of course. And it looks like we're not going to have any yeps, at least in the first 2 races. Cap got through it cleanly as well. Evon still racing here with Kappa for that first spot. Evon just got his nose ahead as we get towards the boosters. Kappa gaining a slight lead. Cap perhaps too far back, trying to gain as much speed as he can through the turbo. He's actually catching on Evon, and he goes wide once again. Kappa goes all the way deep, has the most speed out of that final identity. Kappa will take first, Evon second, Cap third, and hey, will bring it home in 4th.
Yeah, but a much faster round now. The time Evon set would be enough to win the previous round here actually on Bicycle by a mile. So shows that he has the pace here. Kappa though, 1:10.18, just 0.3 of a second off of the world record. Shows really how well they're playing right now. To do this in a live setting is spectacular to watch, and he still has 2 more rounds here to go. Could accrue even more points, but so far he's really showing why he was the world champion and that he wants to be one again. Let's see now in the 3rd round of Bicycle as we see Cap hitting the tree there. Yeps coming out, I'm sure, in the chat in just a few seconds. But the race goes on. 3 players left to battle for these points. Kappa, Evon, and Haedra now with the opportunity to capitalize on that. But there is still 1 tree waiting. Perhaps could claim another victim here. After this jump, it is a blind one. You sort of just have to know where it is and try to avoid it. Looks good for all the players. Haedra very close to the checkpoint. Oh, that's going to be a small clip, putting him out of the fight for first. Kappa versus Evon. It is the battle we've seen all Bicycle long now. Once more, can Evon gain a 1300s on Kappa in this identity? He's trying, but it is not going to be enough on the first one. Needs to push all the way out on the booster now. 0.24 of a second. Should be too much to close, and Kappa will run away with another 10 points and another 110.1.
That is so fast. 110.1 once again from Kappa, as you say. Evon following up with the 110.30, which is still very, very fast. Haedra able to lock in that 3rd spot for the first time. He's seen him fail a couple of times just clipping into a wall or getting a little bit too close to an obstacle, costing him a lot on Bicycle so far. We're into the final round of it, though. We'll see if we can have a clean round from all 4 of our racers here. Cap out to an early lead, but those leads can so quickly dematerialize in a race like this. He's got about 800ths ahead of Evon right now into this dirt jump. This drift can be a little difficult. I think Evon just clipped out as we see Kappa now taking the lead. Haedra chasing in as well, and that Evon getting knocked out could be huge for Cap and for Haedra. If they can manage to pick up a win here, they really increase their chances of getting that 2nd World Cup qualification. Kappa, though, still in the lead, as he so often is and so often has been across the course of this final. There's the jump. Cap's going to go close to the tree, goes over it. Oh. And no yeps are in chat today. I think Haedra may have hit it. Yeah, there's a couple of yeps. As now we jump to the front of the pack once again. Kappa trying to chase down Cap. And I'm pretty sure I know what is going on in Twitch chat right now. Kappa and Cap racing for the final line. Cap has a little bit more speed into this 2nd turbo. Kappa goes very deep onto the soft grass. Will have more speed, but Cap will take it over. Kappa and Evon will try and complete his race in 3rd. Haedra is going to be close. He's 12 seconds down. Should just about be able to close this one out and lock himself in 3 points.
Yeah, that was a one of the most majestic yap trees that I've seen from Haedra. Didn't actually crash in the tree, but bounced on the very top of it to fly over the checkpoint. Very unfortunate for him, but the match continues now. On to Haedra's map choice, that of Paradise. Let's have a look at this one and see what is coming up, because we mentioned there was a lot of ice, and Paradise is certainly one of those maps. This one featuring a shortcut jump in the start, another one here, and then a technical dirt part, as well as this freewheeling drift that we keep talking about. If you get a good drift here in this section, it just builds up so much speed for the next 10 seconds. And then the 2 ice walls where you drive all the way up before diving down and trying to stay on the platform right after. This is going to be a very close race. We don't know too much about the players' pace here in their personal best, but we will soon find out. And perhaps there's a good reason why Haedra chose this one. He needs a lot of points now to come back in the match, so maybe this map could do it for him. Let's follow along here. Kappa with the best start out the gate. Evon close behind, Haedra in 3rd, and Kappa's made a small mistake there. 0.35 on the checkpoint. Little bit out of contention now. We go around the dirt banking, then a small wiggle there to build up a little bit more speed for this tech drift. And now it's so important that you end up all the way out to the left on the track here, so you can jump to the right, slightly go over the hill here to the right, and then push for speed to the left. Kappa once again up in 1st, where we see him so often now, but let's see who survives this drift. This is a very precise corner. The more speed you get, the better. And Kappa almost crashes, but he makes it. Though Haedra here with more speed. You can see now he's just inching closer before they get to the identity. It's only 0.1 of a second between the two, and we will see who gets the best ice turn here. Up they go, different lines. Haedra with less speed, but a safer line perhaps. Kappa should capitalize on that, getting a big gap now, but can he hold this in the final turn? Looks all good, and Kappa will get another 10 points there with a 108.78. Then 6 points for Haedra, 4 for Evon, and 3 for Cap.
Actually absurd just how consistent Kappa has been here. Like we've had 9 races and he has won 7 of them. That's actually just crazy. Like he's just so good, so consistent, and everyone else is trying to chase his boot tails right now as Evon is in second place with 50. Once again, Cap off to a poor start here, losing time in those first couple of turns. Haedra will chase Evon and Kappa as much as he can. The two Trackmania Grand League players leading the charge from the front once again. However, Haedra has a little bit more speed, though Evon goes into the drift. Haedra slides out just a tad and will lose a bit of time here on Evon and Kappa as we get over to this dirt jumping from left to right to maintain as much time on the ground as possible into the freewheeling. This is where things can go pear-shaped. Evon looking to make it clean this time, will be able to do it. So will Haedra, who dropped below that 200 mark, though a little bit slower. And you can see Cap has been able to catch up on him because of that. Evon now chasing with Kappa. Kappa likes this really high, little risky line. Everyone else going that bit lower, but Kappa able to hold on to it means he has so much more speed into the second identity. And unless he does something drastically wrong, which he does, Evon will take first, Haedra takes second, Kappa will go all the way down to 4th place because he slid out on the identity.
But also compliments to Evon for what I think is the greatest ending we've seen on Paradise in the tournament. That was just full send, no hesitation, and he makes it with a beautiful low line to secure those 10 points. But yeah, Kappa overall looking very, very solid. But one thing we've seen is Cap struggling here in the start. This is the 3rd round now where he loses this gear in the beginning in the dirt there, which costs him about 0.2, 0.3 of a second. And if he hasn't lost this time, then he would be otherwise keeping up pace. We saw him overtake Haedra late into the race, so small mistakes here by Cap just out the gate, which is crucial for him as he now finds himself not just behind Kappa, but behind Evon for that 2nd spot in the match. So he needs to try to make a comeback here happen, getting a little bit closer after the dirt perhaps. But this drift here is where most of the things are decided. Who gets the best speed here? Look at the speedometer, 200 at the checkpoint. Cap having to brake means that he will not be getting any closer to Kappa, but Evon with the worst speed of the 4, dropping down to 4th place. Now Haedra, the closest contender to Kappa for these 10 points, but Kappa going high for the speed, and if he survives that line, he will extend into a great lead for 1st place. Now let's see if Evon can do his magic in the end, or if Kappa will hold that. Looks all good for Kappa. Another 10 points, another 108, and this performance right now is absurd.
Yeah, and Cap slid out at the end as well, though, so he will only get 4th. Haedra was able to snipe 3rd place from him. As you say, Kappa is just, he's a monster right now. Like, we heard how strong he had been yesterday in the first day of qualification here. He has taken this group by storm. 92 points out of a possible 120 so far. He is absolutely dominating. Once again, Cap off to a slow start here. Does get a quite nice jump there, but he takes a slightly wider angle into that first shortcut, and there's a lot of work for Cap to do here. He's already 3/10 down on the rest of the pack. Does have a really good dirt corner there, and we'll be able to catch up just a tad, but still Kappa out to the lead once again. Haedra trying to battle here with Evon for 2nd place. Kappa has about 1/10 of a lead on both of them. Haedra goes a little high on the dirt there, so loses out some time, and now it's Evon and Kappa, the two Trackmania Grand League players, fighting at the top once again. Into the freewheeling. Evon able to hold it together that time, and Kappa actually losing a bit of time to Evon through that freewheeling section. Evon has had such good identities. His first is a little lower, a little slower than Kappa's on average, but that second identity from Evon has been so strong and so consistent. Kappa will try and catch up Evon here. Is he going to go for the more risky identity? Evon just slides it round, takes first, just 0.07 of a second ahead of Kappa. Cap comes 3rd. and Haedra gets 4th spot.
And these two Trackmania Grand League players now, Evon and Kappa, they really are proving why they are Grand League players. Like, they're in a league of their own. If you look at the scoreboard, getting these 10 and 6 pointers back and forth between the two. We're now going on to Slalom. This has traditionally been one of Evon's better maps. We also know Kappa is really good on this one, especially that last ice turnaround that we will see at the end of the track. It's starting out with this cool full speed part where the players just drive nice and safe, and then we have 3 slalom sections, one of them here on the dirt, then one on the reactor boosters, and then the final one in the uphill, the most decisive one being that one on the ice in the ending. We'll see what we get here. Evon did drive really well on this in the final chance tournament last year. Now he needs to do it again to get into the World Cup. We'll see if he can do that as we go live here in just 5 seconds.
Yeah, Kappa currently has the world record on this track as well, a 104.29. So very, very quick. He's actually almost a 10th and a half ahead of anyone else on this track, and we've seen how well he is translating that single run form into cup format across the course of this finals. Haedra out to an early lead. Kappa's going to try and catch him up, but Haedra does have about 100th to a 500th advantage over the rest of the pack. Kappa, though, with a good line here. Haedra's going to go low into towards that top side of the grass. All of the players within 500ths of each other jumping onto the dirt. Kappa and Evon go forward to first and second into the first dirt slalom. Haedra losing just a little bit of time, and Kappa and Evon looking for this second slalom. Kappa goes out, smashes face first into a wall, and now it's between Evon and Cap to see who can hold on to first place here. Of course, the final part of this map, so tricky. This long ice slide, you want to get it as tight as possible while maintaining as much speed as you can. Evon going very tight, Cap going too tight, but he's going to turn it around, and Haedra went off the top. No, Cap has to reset. Haedra will take it. Evon gets first, Haedra gets second. Cap will come home in third, and Kappa will lock in fourth. It was a comedy of errors there at the end, Wirtual.
Yeah, these guys have not been practicing their pizza legs when it comes to driving slalom here. All the way out, spinning around, driving off the top. We need to rehearse here and go again to try to have some close races here, but Evon gets the job done there. We have yet to see what Kappa can do there when he doesn't crash, so 105.86, not the fastest start, but we'll see what happens here in the second round. Kappa now bridging over 100 points, so only 2 round wins away from reaching the most important 120 points. That's when he gets to finalist. That's when he has a chance to lock in a spot. In order to get there, though, he needs to beat out these 3 other drivers, which currently are all beating out him, actually, in the start, getting about 0.1 of a lead over Kappa, the defending world champion from 2018. But now he puts in a push on this part and overtakes 1. Here comes number 2, and onto the grass. He wants number 3. He wants these points. Needs to beat out Evon, though, in the ice part. Here we go up the hill. Are they going to keep the gear and the grip as they turn around? Kappa with such a low turnaround, but Cap might challenge here with more speed down the hill. We'll see who gets the best jump. Kappa going out wide to the speaker, and he will make that one work for him. 10 points in the bank, 10 more to go for finalist. Kappa here is looking great, Medic.
Yeah, solid time from Kappa as well. 105.09. Haedra will just about sneak his way over the line there to get to 55 points. Importantly for Evon as well, he has constantly built up his points behind Kappa. Of course, Kappa already at 111, but Evon only 3 wins away from getting to 120 himself. So as soon as Kappa starts not being able to gain points anymore, even qualifies for the World Cup, Evon has put himself in a really good position to claim that second World Cup spot. Once again, we go around the corner here on Slalom. 3 rounds into this 4-round map. Haedra in the lead. Cap trying to keep up. He's fallen behind quite often across the course of this series of matches, and now is able to get ahead of Kappa, but let's go a little bit high into the slalom. Kappa bonks twice, and he is out of contention for this one. Won't be able to qualify for that finalist. Cap is out as well, and now it's all on Haedra and Evon for the end of this track. I mean, I say that we've had a few mistakes at the end, so perhaps we could see someone coming from behind, but right now Evon with a 4/10 lead is looking to lock this one up. He goes high, loses grip. Haedra takes over the spot, and Haedra should be able to lock this one in. First place for him, second for Evon. Kappa will come home in third. Cap will come home in fourth place, and Kappa still 1 second or first place away from getting that red badge.
Yeah, but these rounds are so chaotic. We really don't know what's gonna happen now. Evon sliding out there where he could have had 10 points. He still has a very demanding lead onto Haedra and Cap, but Haedra showing some signs of life here, getting a little bit closer to Evon, but he knows that he is gonna have to make a comeback mission happen. Soon Kappa will hit finalist, soon Evon will hit finalist, and then the only way to stay in the tournament is to deny them from winning a round. So that is what he has to do when the time comes. For now though, Kappa, all he needs, first or second place. Right now in third, so needs to beat out one more player here to get into finalist mode. And if he does, he will be finalist on his own map choice of Semiramis coming up after this. But still, half a race to be driven here. Still, the slalom part to be done. Will overtake his namesake here, Cap, in the uphill. Say bye-bye to him, and now only Evon stands between him and 10 more points, even though he doesn't need that many. Let's see if we can do it here in the identity on the end. I slide to the left now. He likes to go very, very low. He likes to get more speed than what Evon does, but is it going to be enough to overtake on the final jump? Looks like Evon has this one barely under control, but it will be enough for finalist for Kappa, and Evon now at 106 points overall.
That's a quick lap as well from Evon, a 104.7. Very fast stuff from him. We put him in the top 14 in the world with that. Importantly for Evon as well, getting those 10 points. Kappa now obviously a finalist. We're moving on to Semiramis next, but Evon now just a win and a second place, or win and a third place away from getting that red name himself, from getting that finalist possibility. It just means it's so close that he can almost touch it. We move on to Semiramis, a very difficult track in some ways. Of course, the identity is hard, but there's a couple of really difficult drifts in the middle that you have to hold if you're going to be able to maintain enough speed through this map.
Yeah, the difficult part about this map is really like the potential of the map. Like, you can drive this map to such an extreme precision level and gain a lot of time, but you are also playing a very risky game. You want to go very close to the walls, you want to push for speed, get all the right gears, and playing like this, sometimes you pay a price for it, but if you can succeed at that, then you are going to beat your opponents by a lot. So it really comes down to that. Kappa picked this map. He favors it out of all the maps he could have chosen. So let's see if he can close it out here in dominating fashion, getting to finalist here in just 16 rounds. Now on the 17th one, could he close it out? Let's find out. Needs to beat all the other players to secure his spot. And the one who has been contesting him the most is Evon, but he right now is in last place, so there is maybe an opportunity for Kappa if he can survive this turn combination. Very difficult. He does it at full speed and will stay ahead of Cap and Haedra for now. Jumping into this turn, you want to land with an angle to the left and just carry that speed through the turn. Kappa going very narrow there, and Cap might have a little bit more speed. 1/100th of a second difference. Kappa going for the wide drift approach here will build up more speed than Cap into the identity, and it is 0.1 of a second now. 3 jumps to go between Kappa and the World Championship, and he might just have it here as there's a big mistake by Cap, now leaving a big gap behind him. Kappa could go on through here. One final jump on the grass to do it. He does have the necessary speed, and I think we can just about this point congratulate Kappa with his World Championship spot.
Once again, Kappa making it back to the World Cup. Great performance by him, doing it in only
17
rounds. Yes, 17 rounds is very impressive stuff. And of course, Evon getting second place puts him in a really good spot. He just needs one more win to make it to that red badge himself, with Hay and Cap both being back in the early 70s. It's going to be very difficult for them to catch. So congratulations to Kappa, and now we jump into the final 3. One of these 3 will qualify right now. It is looking very much like it is Evon's for the taking into this right-handed drift. Before we get towards the most important corner on the map, you have to feel that fast-moving left-hander so that you can keep as much speed through here as possible. Cap has taken first spot. Hay gets through it, but Evon does not. I think Hay actually lost a bunch of speed as well.
Yeah,
so Cap, he's all on his lonesome. All the way up in first spot. Just has to keep Semiramis going relatively safely. Just going through that identity if he can. He's got a lot of time before Haedra or Evon can get anywhere near him. A full 3 seconds behind. Cap, you just got to get these 3 jumps and you get yourself 10 points. And you keep Evon away from getting that finalist badge. Cap with a safe 3 jumps gets up towards the final straight. And won't mess this one up. He knows how to do these. He will take first place. Evon will get second, but he'll be at 118 points, so still needs at least one more finish to get that finalist badge.
Yeah, so Cap's are important 10 points. He's not too far off. I think it could come down to if they can deny Evon here in the 4th round. He will get finalist now in the 3rd round, but the question is, can they deny the 4th one? If Cap can deny that, he will then get to his map choice of Bicycle, where we saw that he was really good. Haedra even was really good. This round, though, Cap is not going to deny anything. Not that it really matters. I think Evon will get that finalist regardless, so it's just about if you can beat him and get some more points for yourself. But yeah, we'll see in the 4th round. I think that's the most important one here. Evon gets sort of one really good attempt here on a map that he is good at to close it out, and then Bicycle could be much closer. So we'll see here, Evon getting that right, left, right, really good. Building up a lot of speed. Might just run away with 10 here to deny Haedra. He will have about 40 points gap down to the others as he hits finalist if this result stays. So maybe more than Bicycle is needed here for the comeback. But we saw Soldier, we saw Binks, we see it is possible to make these comebacks happen and still qualify. It's all about your fighting spirit. How much you want that last spot. It's not over till it's over. And if they can beat him in these next rounds, then they could qualify themselves. But they have a very hard task to do. If Evon's going to drive 1:11:06 rounds, then you better get your engine going in the next highest gear, because that is not easy pace to keep up with.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult to keep track of Evon through this next round. Is what could be the final round of the Trackmania World Cup qualifiers here. We'll take a breath, we'll take a moment as we get through these first 4 corners, reflecting on 2 great days of Trackmania action. Cap out to a little bit of a lead here, has just that little bit more speed. You want to keep the gear up here through this right-hander. Evon falling behind about a 10th through these first few corners, but that's not really where the time is won or lost on this track. This is the most important corner. Evon will be able to work his way through it, catching up on Haedra, now catching up on Cap. He gets 2nd place. Cap just trying to maintain these lines through these corners, gets very close to the apex there. Evon losing just a little bit of speed. Cap through the dirt is still holding on to that lead. 3/10 back is Evon right now. Cap needs a safe Semiramis, and he's a good Semiramis. If you can get there with about 3/10 ahead, you should be pretty good to close this one out. 2.5 tenths ahead is Cap. He loses a little bit of time on the first, but Evon doesn't have the best landing on the second, and Cap should be able to bring this one home. Evon had the opportunity to close it in, but couldn't quite do it here on Semiramis.
Yeah, and very importantly for Cap, he did what he had to do here. He closed out Semiramis. We are going on to Bicycle. We are going on to his map choice. And 96 points. If he wins 3 in a row, he is then at that 120 with 1 round left to spare to close it out on Bicycle. It could happen. It's going to be difficult, but there is still a fighting chance here. Let's take a look at Bicycle, built by Papuet, as we see it for the last time here in this qualifier. 4 rounds on a very technical track with a lot of trees that you could potentially bonk into. Gotta be careful here on this part and on the jump coming up later on. An important dirt turn in the middle here. You want to build up speed in, and then of course at the end of the track here, these ice turnarounds that really identify what Bicycle is, and we'll see how they handle them now. Warm-up is concluding, 5 seconds left before we go into the final rounds here. Evon only needing to win 1 round. Cap needs 4 in a row. Haedra needs 5 in a row, or maybe even more if the match is prolonged with second and third places and whatnot. So we'll see here. First round out, on Kap's map choice. What can he do on this one when it matters most? It's going to get a little bit worse start than the others, but pushes that technical corner very nicely. Lands flat here on the dirt, able to build up speed, but Evon gets that the best of all three of them to put himself into the lead now at the end of the first technical section. We're going in to the dirt section. Important to hit this drift to the left, as far to the left as possible to get a good entry here. And Kappa and Haedra got this really nicely to close that gap up to Evon, but he still holds first place, holds the grip on that downhill, and now the jump through the checkpoint will be very important. Cap is going straight for the tree. He bonks, but Evon hits the checkpoint, and this is not over yet. Haedra with a 1 second lead could keep the fire of this match alive here, saving Cap's chances. One time at least. Evon, though, is going to try. He's going to wait and see if Haedra might make a mistake that allows him to win the match right here, right now. Haedra still strong. One booster turnaround, not risking anything by the looks of it. And we are not done yet, Medic, as Haedra closes out the first one here with a 1:10.61.
Yeah, and Haedra just doing a massive favor there to Cap. Like, Cap hitting the tree, really not something you want to be doing in a map that can really define whether or not you make it to the World Cup. Haedra, after being last consistently the last time we played this, now gets himself a first spot and is at 97 points. Cap didn't finish, didn't get any extra points there, so wasn't able to crest over the 100-point mark as we get once again into what could be the final round of the World Cup qualifying. Evon with a good start will get himself a 500th lead here early on, but Cap has a little bit more speed coming into this dirt jump, and so we'll take that lead back. We're going to get into this long left drift here, and all three racers basically separated by nothing. You place a bag over all three of them right now and you would cover them all. Cap getting into the dirt drifting section. Evon going high there as he tries to get more speed onto this ice around the corner. Now once again to the jump. Cap, I feel like he's going to place just a little bit more to the left this time. Dodges out on the tree. Evon with a good landing though, and Cap and Evon are within 200ths of each other coming into the final portion of the map. Evon still with that lead. He can taste the World Cup. He can see it. He can see his position in that final 16. Haedra a little bit behind. Evon gets into the boosters first. Cap's going to try and chase him down. Cap has more speed. Evon's going to get caught here. Will Cap send it for the final once? Cap goes really deep. Evon has the lead, but Cap is chasing. Cap is closing. Evon gets it by 100th of a second. Evon will lock his spot in the World Cup.
And what an ending there. I think Evon is breathing very easy. That was the closer because Cap has the pace on this map and he almost had him there. Just 100th of a second being the difference. But that is enough to close out the match for Evon. Him and Kappa will advance through to the World Cup happening later this summer. And that is it for the final match here. So GG's to all the players.
What a day of Trackmania action. What a weekend of Trackmania action. Honestly, just edge of your seat stuff from start to finish here, Wirtual. Was incredible to watch.
Yeah, this has been so amazing to see, especially also with the rise of spectators. So many people coming out to watch this, to enjoy Trackmania at the highest level. And I mean, we gotta say, it really is that enjoyable to watch players making this look so effortless and so incredibly impressive.
It really is. And like I said it a few times yesterday, if you haven't tried out these tracks and you're wondering like how can these guys make mistakes, aren't they meant to be professionals, just go give it a try. Go like spend 30 minutes on any one of the tracks and see if you can get within 10 seconds of any of these guys' times, because they are truly top class Trackmania players. And
it's not so much the crashes either. Like I for one, I can drive the tracks without crashing, but I'm still gonna lose 2 seconds because they're just optimizing everything at the same time. So it's just like, yeah, these players are in a level of their own.